Good Monday morning, Antelope Valley. It is July 19th, 2021, and welcome to this week's edition of Market Statistics for the Greater Antelope Valley area. This is the sixth week that we've been doing this, following what is going on in our local AV real estate market. As I mentioned before, that I think it's important that folks in the Lancaster, Palmdale, Greater Antelope Valley area have a resource to go to know what's going on in our local market. A lot of times our numbers get lost in the greater Los Angeles County and state of California area. And our Antelope Valley market has always been a unique market. And so, as I mentioned, I think it's important that local folks have a resource to go to see what's going on in our local market. And our market is doing some interesting things. So before we get into our statistics for this week, I always like to point out that these numbers come from the Greater Antelope Valley Association of Realtors MLS system, and the data is reflective of activity out of that system. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get into this week's statistics. There we go. Slide number 1 is up. We start this morning with 488 active listings on the market. Look at that increase from just last week when we were at 442. That is a 10.4% increase. And look from just 4 weeks ago, we are up over 30% increase. We were at 371. There was a point not that long ago that we were hovering right at 300 and actually dropped below 300. So you could definitely see some folks are making that decision that now is the time to get their house on the market. As of this morning in the Greater Antelope Valley MLS system, we start with 872 pendings. That is up 20 or 2.3% from last week, and also up just a little under 2% from 4 weeks ago. So that number, even though it's down a little bit from 7-8 weeks ago, it's still hovering upper 800s. So that's good. And it's also good to see some decent, quite a few new properties come on the market. You can see the total between active and pendings up about 4.2%. What I like to refer to as the churn is that those properties that are coming on the market, how fast are they going off the market? Are we starting to see that number get a little bit tilted? Which we're not. However, as I've mentioned before, we are starting to kind of see that pendulum come off of this superheated seller's market. And, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, if a superheated seller's market is a 10, we're probably sitting right now somewhere around 7.5. Definitely a good time for those second chance buyers to get back out in the market if you got discouraged during the winter, spring of last year, of the winter of 2020, spring and of 2021, definitely a good chance to maybe get out there and nose around again. So with that, let's get into week over week activity. We'll go to our second slide here. There we go. And you can see over the last week, the week from July 12th through July 18th, we had 159 new residential listings come on the market. That is up 17% from the prior week. This is a good number, is that the number of properties that went into escrow over that same time period, 135. So that's up 18 or 15% from the week prior. So yeah, we're seeing properties come on the market, but we're also seeing buyers out there taking advantage of a little bit of an increase in inventory. Median number of days that those pending properties before they went into escrow were on the market is 11. And so that's just a tick up, still a very, very healthy market. Buyers are out there, but they're basically being a little bit more picky with what they're looking at and want to make sure they're getting good value for their money. So number of residential listings that closed over the last 7 days, up 11, about 18.3%. So that's good. That's trending in the right direction. I think we're going to start to see that number continue to grow because late June, early July was pretty active for properties going into escrow. We can look at our median sales price over the last 7 days, bumped up from 437.5 to 460. That number has been fluctuating between 430 to 465. Median sometimes not the best number to look at week after week, but long term, because it does kind of bump up a little bit. But what is important to see is that we're still seeing the good properties priced right sell a little bit above list price. So our median sales price was 460 and the median list price of those solds was 450. So that gap's narrowing a little bit. We're still about 2.2% above list price for those final solds. So that is our market update and recap for this Monday morning, July 19th. Like your comments, any other information we may be able to get you if you're maybe thinking about maybe it's the right time to sell, maybe the right time to get back out there. By all means, feel free to reach out to one of your trusted Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Troth Realtors agents. We are always here to help and give you some guidance. With that, take care, everybody, and I hope you make it a great week. All righty.